All right, breaking news coming in with an NDTV news break. What has the government said, with government sources rather, on the entire emergency row as well as the IC 814 row? Well, government sources in the IC 814 controversy, which is Anubhav Sinha's film, has said that we are taking this issue very seriously and we cannot let people play with sentiments. Now, remember, the Netflix content head was summoned over this entire IC 814 controversy. And as far as Kangana's film Emergency is concerned, remember its release date was postponed because the censor board, or the certification board rather, had asked for more cuts. It had sought more cuts and it had not given its final nod to the film. So in that particular case as well, what government sources seem to indicate is that sentiments cannot be hurt. Which is why the government has taken, perhaps, or the censor board has taken this considered decision to postpone the release date and perhaps seek more cuts. Now, remember, the government sources have also said with regard to Kangana's film, that there is sensitive content in the film and that religious bodies had raised concerns. Now, remember, there were a lot of protests. In fact, you had various Sikh bodies also protesting against the film. There were political protests over this as well. In fact, Kangana Ranaut issued a statement as well that it's extremely demoralizing if films are postponed like this. She, in fact, used pretty strong words saying that an emergency has been imposed on my film Emergency. And her statement came just a day after the Central Board for Film Certification decided to seek more cuts and not give its nod to the film. And IC 814, of course, there has been a lot of controversy over it as well. In fact, on social media all day today, there was outrage over the names of the hijackers. So far, there's been no statement that has really been issued from Anubhav Sinha, the director of the film, or the producers of the film with regard to the whole controversy. But the Netflix content head has been summoned, and the government sources making it clear that sentiments cannot be played with and we're taking it very seriously. So, of course, this also ties into the larger censorship debate, as many people from within the film industry have pointed out that the certification board, the job of which is to certify films, is sort of being excessive in its role as the film board. But let me go across to my colleague Aishwarya. So Aishwarya, first on Kangana's film Emergency. There was a lot of outrage. In fact, Sikh bodies had also registered their protest, but the government sources making it clear that sentiments cannot be played with and there is some sensitive content in the film.
Well, remember the SGPC, which is the Sikh Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee, who had approached the INB ministry earlier and referred to several remarks and the content that was portrayed in the trailer of the movie Emergency, and certainly that was something which had stated by the SGPC that those had been an issue for them and that had hurt the religious sentiments, according to them, which the government sources are now being telling that why the movie delay had been postponed and why the certification had not been given to Kangana's movie Emergency. It has been stated by the top sources in the government to us that there had been few religious organizations, that is the SGPC, who approached the government and raised concerns over this. It has been stated by the government sources that the religious sentiments cannot be hurt, and therefore the reason these are sensitive issues and the content in the movie is very sensitive, looking to a large number of the Sikh community in the country as well, and therefore the reason perhaps the government had taken the note very seriously. This has been referred again back to the content team. Remember, today it was the Netflix India content head who had been summoned by the INB ministry as well, and the objections that the SGPC has raised, that had been referred to her as well, and now to make correction again, it has been stated to us that that the director of the movie had also been informed accordingly, and this again will be censored, and therefore later the censorship certificate will be given after the approval of the government in this particular case.
All right, Aishwarya, and in the entire IC 814 controversy, there has been a lot of outrage on social media over the names of the hijackers. So the government saying that, this is again something which is a sensitive issue. Many people have also cited a previous MEA document, though of course the government is saying that we are taking it very seriously, and now the Netflix head being summoned, but no response yet from the producers or the directors of the film. But certainly this is an unprecedented move, isn't it, to summon the head of a streaming platform over a film?
Well, to make it as a precedent, certainly it is the government of India who had taken it very, very seriously. This is a part of the history, and history cannot be rewrite is something that the government had made it very clear. Of course, there are documents and there are the statements of the government which is already on the MEA website as far as IC 184 is concerned. But it is the government who had stated that nobody has right to play with the sentiments of the people of this nation. India's culture and civilization should always be respectful. One should think before presenting and portraying in a wrong manner. Of course, the Bharatiya Janata Party and several of the leaders have questioned that why the Indian names had been used as far as the terrorist who was portrayed in the entire movie was concerned, to which the reply was also, reply from one side also came in that, these names, the Indian names were referred by the terrorists to each other.
Right.
And that's what was mentioned in the website as well. But this cannot be, portrayed in a wrong manner, as the message is conveyed in a wrong fashion as far as what the government thinks, and therefore the reason perhaps the Netflix content director of India had been summoned today, and this has been referred to her as far as creating a right content and portraying to the audience in a right way is something that the government is thinking.